Roll Tide, everybody. What do you say? It's time for the Bama Tailgate Show, brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Shank and I are going to talk about that amazing win for Alabama, where they did just about everything to lose, except they had the heart to go out there and figure out a way to win. And it really shows you a lot about this team, and we're going to get into that right here on the show. So make sure that you like, subscribe, get in the comments section. And let's get this show started. I cannot wait to talk about that game. And we got an off week, so we don't even have to worry about talking about LSU, the coachless LSU. Let's go. All right, there he is, Alphonse Taylor. You know him as Shank. I'm Mick Gillespie. You know me as Mick. Good to see you, Shank. I've already did a video yesterday, and I already told everybody the way I feel. So I don't even want to get into that because I'm just taking time away from you. Your thoughts. Give me your initial thoughts on what happened in Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday.
All right, man. My first initial thought, is that we've come a long way since game one, Nick. If something like that were to happen again in game one, I don't think we overcome it, Nick. But I feel like we have an identity as a team now. We're grimy. We work hard. We put our hard hats on and we show up even when when it gets difficult, Mick. Um, my biggest thing is, man, it's much better to learn lessons from a win than it is to learn lessons from a loss, right? And so just to see us persevere when everything seemed to be going wrong for us, Nick, and we were facing sudden doom, man, to figure out a way to pull it out at the end and come out with a win, especially in a tough SEC, man, that's big time. Because I told you last week, you can't look at South Carolina's schedule. That quarterback is legit. That is a tough team to play against. And we found a way to pull it out at the end. And so we got to be happy with it moving forward. And we got to find a way to stack. And we got to find a way to not put ourselves in that position moving forward, Mick. Because when
Yeah.
you're talking playoff football, it won't be so easy to overcome games like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so we got to figure out a way to keep ourselves out of those situations and play the type of football that we know to play consistently. And
Yeah.
man, just at the end of the day, I think the defense showed up. They did enough to give us a chance. They
Yeah.
did enough to give us a chance. Because I mean, anybody that's watching, you got to understand, Sellers, was on a lot of people Heisman watch list going into this season. And the team overall isn't having the type of season that they thought they'd have. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he's a damn good quarterback, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Yeah.
damn good quarterback,
He
and he's a
is.
playmaker.
He's a tough guy, too.
He is. He is. And we had a hard time tackling him, man. And and so I think to go in an environment like that and figure out a way to win, man, we can look at all the bad things that happen, but at the end of the day, I'd rather learn losses from win. I'd rather learn lessons from wins than I would from losses.
Yeah. Hey, and I think that's one of the morals of the story. I think the other one is that this team found a way to win when they would have lost this game last year, when they would have lost this game at the beginning of the season. They stuck together because they looked like crap. I mean, they couldn't run the ball. Like on just regular run plays, it's nothing. They just, they have to do a lot of tricky stuff to be able to run the ball. They're not winning a lot of those one-on-one matchups in the
Yeah.
run game, man.
And I got
Yeah,
such an issue with that, Mick. They like we are so good at the gimmick plays that I almost hate it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I would much rather us be the type of team that can damn line up 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, whatever the case may be, run inside zone and absolutely know we're gonna get a first down.
yeah,
I would much rather us be that than having to go down jet orbit motion with our wide receiver to get him out the backfield just to get 5 yards for a
right,
touchdown, whatever the case may be.
yeah,
And you know what I'm saying? And so I think that it showed in that game that it's gonna take more than gimmick to be a good football team moving forward, man.
Mhm.
Because I told you from the jump, that South Carolina D line is legit.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, they
legit.
couldn't stop the one guy. I mean, he was in
93.
the backfield the entire game.
God, man, he showed up Caleb Proctor a lot that game, man. You know, I seen a couple plays where Proctor was trying to down block on him, and he shot the gap, man. And he made plays in the backfield. And anybody that watches tape, you got to know that that South Carolina D line is probably one of the best in the SEC, man. And then you got Dylan Stewart off the edge over there, one of the great young pass rushers in the league. I mean, it took everything we could throw at him to keep him contained, man. But
Yeah.
on the same line, even though we kept him contained, that opened up some other guys to have some big games. And so we got to find a way to get our offensive line to anchor this team. Because
Yeah.
if our offensive line doesn't play well, we typically don't play well as a unit, man.
Mm-mm.
And that had a lot to do with it in the game. And you know, when you're talking run game, the first person I look at, or the first five people I look at, are the offensive linemen.
Mhm.
You know, because at the end of the day, when it comes to a just a grimy ground and pound game like that, we got to find a way. Like
Yeah.
we got to find a way. It can't always be some type of gimmick play to get to where we want to be, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, when you're talking playoff football, it's about the people that can execute consistently. It's
Yeah.
about the people that can run the football and the people that can play defense, man.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, it's you love the gimmick plays, but you still got to do the basics well to win a championship. And it
Absolutely.
does feel like we're having to rely on a lot of gimmick stuff because we don't do the basics up front well enough. You know, we have trouble stopping the run on defense. We have trouble running the ball on offense. Now, we found some runs at the end of the game when we needed them. You know, we really did. But you know, you got your wide receivers running the ball, and it's because we just, whether it's the running backs or the offensive line or somebody else missing blocks or getting beat. There's nothing about that run game that makes you feel good about what you're doing when you hand the ball off right now on a conventional run play. And they've got to get
Absolutely.
better at that. Can they improve on that? I mean, is that something you can do better?
They definitely can, man, because at the end of the day, that's an attitude thing. That's a want to. That's an effort deal. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get lined up, man, and you know the down and distance, just like, all right, we need 3 yards here. Well, you need to have that attitude that there's absolutely nothing in this world that can stop me from doing my job and us from getting these 3 yards to convert
Right.
whatever the downage may be. And you know, my thing is, man, I understand we're not the conventional Alabama team, but in the SEC, you have to be able to run the ball. You just like you absolutely have to. And to see us struggle from that standpoint in that game, it was kind of disheartening because I feel like we've gotten a lot better at consistently
Mhm.
being able to run the ball. And I think there's times like we absolutely should go with those orbit motions and those jet sweeps because they're
Yeah.
gonna put if they're gonna put 6 or 7, 8 guys in the box, man. All right, let's pin them all inside and get to the outside. Absolutely that. But when we can't even line up and base block a three tech and convert short yardage, that concerns me, Mick.
Yeah.
That concerns me a lot, especially when you're talking about this guy was whooping on our 360-pound left tackle.
Yeah.
You know, now there was some stuff Proctor did really well in the game. There absolutely was, but at the end of the day, we got to get those blocks done, and we have to be able to convert short yardage because
Yeah.
that is the difference in a playoff team. And at the end of the day, if we can't take some of the pressure off Ty and keep the ball on the ground consistently and continuously build a run game and stick to a run game, Ty's going to struggle in the later half of this season.
Right.
And because people are going to peg it just like, all right, we're not worried about the run game. We're going to make Ty beat us. And
Yeah.
we understand when Ty gets into some pressure situations, man, he likes to go for the deep shot sometimes and he gets
Right.
out of his body. And so we have to find a way to continue to take some pressure off him and improve in the run game going forward.
Yeah. There were a lot of drops in the game. he and Ty kind of hung in there on that. He missed a couple throws. One would have been a
Yeah.
touchdown to Bernard.
Oh my,
You know,
absolutely.
but I felt like part of that was he was under distress so much
Oh,
that,
for
you
sure.
know, he never really got comfortable enough to just relax and make the throw
Nah, for sure.
until the end
And
when he had to. And then, you know, they made all the plays then.
yeah, and that's one of the things I really like about this team, man. It's just when we have a chance to win and we're put in those tough situations, we find a way. We find a way. We make the necessary plays on offense. We make the necessary
Yeah.
plays on defense. But I think we're a good enough team to not put ourselves in those positions to start with, Nick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there was nothing really South Carolina was doing that just stopped us
Yeah.
besides running the ball. Like they definitely matched us physicality wise up front, but everything else, Mick, it was on us. Like you said, drop passes, offensive line. Ty was under pressure the whole game, and so when he was wide open in the pocket, he still was uncomfortable because
Yeah.
he had been pressured so much. And so that's when you see those errant throws that we're used to seeing Ty make. You know what I'm saying? So and for us to continue to get better, we have to continue to improve up front, man.
Yeah. No
You know,
doubt.
because we've put some stuff on tape that people are gonna try to attack us.
Yeah.
You know, we struggle when defenses line up and they slant the front on us.
Right.
We don't pick up those blocks. We give up gaps. It kills our run lanes. And you know, man, I think as creative as we are on the offensive side of the ball, I think we need to show a little more creativity in the run game.
Yep.
You know, because we can do all this stuff to get the receivers the ball. We can find a way to get the running backs the ball in a creative manner as well.
Yeah. You're right,
Um,
man. Everything you're
yeah,
saying is right. The one thing I do want to say, and before we talk about the defense and how fantastic they were, guys, make sure that you're part of Avenue D. Join Mick Nation. Hit that QR code right there. We got hats. We're giving away. We already gave them away. Shank got a box. Did you get your box yet?
I did, man. I
Oh,
love all the
good.
gear in there. I'm gonna wear our shirt to the LSU game. I'm
Yes.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
yeah,
You coming to
man.
the tailgate show?
I'm absolutely trying to.
Oh, it's going to be
I'm
so much fun,
absolutely trying to.
man. That makes me happy. We'll be at Innisfree to record the tailgate show on Friday of LSU from 1 to 3. So make sure you guys swing there. And then Coker and I normally stick around and do a last call podcast for the next round guys afterwards. That one's more of our
Nice.
adult conversation, and then obviously our FCC show is that. But hit that Avenue D. I'm going to try to have some trucker hats, you know, to give away to you guys. I just put the order in. I said, hey, can you get them to me before LSU? Because last time so many of you guys showed up, I was like, I got to have stuff to give away. So we gave away a bunch of Daniel Moore calendars at the Coastal this week for the show. And I was so happy to see all you guys that came out and hung out with us. So please do that again in Tuscaloosa when we do the show. All right, let's talk about the defense. They were great. Pick 6 by Jones, and then the strip at the end of the game. Tim Keenan was in there. Deontay Lawson was in there too. Those guys were going after the football a lot. That you can tell they're trained to do that. They give up big chunk plays. This isn't a Nick Saban defense. You don't have those anymore, right? It's just the world works in college football. So what these guys do is they bend, they don't break. They're really good inside the red zone, and they take the ball away. This is a really, really hot defense right now.
Absolutely, man. And the offense put them in some tough situations, and they found a way. They found a way. I feel like we kept them on the field a lot that game, man, much more than we needed to. And at the end of the day, they made the necessary plays to make sure we came out with a victory, man. And that's what we have to have as a football team. You know, we can't be struggling offensive and defensively at the same time. So we got to pick a poison. And so it's great to see that the defense showed up Saturday when the offense was kind of off of their rhythm and we weren't playing our best game. And because you got to get that win to the defense because they gave us a chance to win it all. And we made the best of that opportunity, man. And I think they showed up throughout the game the entire day. Like I said, the Sellers is a really good quarterback. You know, he's 6'2", 240 back there playing quarterback, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a hard guy to tackle.
Yep.
He really is, and I think He's just one of those guys that he's gonna get his. He's absolutely gonna get his. You just gotta slow him down as best you can. And at the end of the day, we made enough plays defensively to get us the win. And that's all that matters, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. I was just really fired up. Deshaun Jones, obviously the touchdown, and that was at the beginning of the game, helped the offense that was struggling. LT Overton, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson, Jan Pierre. I thought Nakai Hill Green had a really good game. And
Yeah.
Ray Hubbard seems to be in on a bunch of plays. But you're getting some young guys, Xavier Brown and Red Morgan, dudes that are getting in there. I thought, look, I was pretty hard on Jalen Mbakwe for hitting that punt, but then went back and watched it. I think he got pushed into the punter. So he still got to know where the ball is, but that shouldn't have counted as a fumble, man. I mean, like you're not allowed to throw a guy into the ball, like when you're locked up like that. The officials let that go, and it turned into a fumble. And maybe the game wouldn't have come down to the end like it did, had that not happened. You could tell the momentum was changing at that point, then that fumble. But all in all, I thought the defense just deserves a lot of kudos, man. Just for making it going to the next play. Like they'll give up a big play, and then they'll come back and make like 3 tackles right at the line of scrimmage or for loss. They play the next play, and that's hard to do sometimes when you get, they'll give up some big plays. They get gashed time to time.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely think we played a lot better than people understand because we had a few penalties, a few dumb penalties that kept drives
Yeah.
going for South Carolina. And those could have been the difference in the game at the end of the day, mate, but they still found a way. And you just like Pierre slamming that guy, just like that penalty was soft, man. Like that was
Yeah.
soft. Like,
So
come
bad.
on. Man,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they come back and do the exact same thing to us, and we don't get a call at all.
I know. So
You
sick
know
of
what
the
I'm
picture.
saying? So it is
I'll
what it
tell you what,
is.
though, Shank, after what's going on right now where the NBA got caught with a bunch of cheaters in it,
Hmm.
I think I will sit here to this day and tell you that something just never sat right with me. That 22 Bama Tennessee game, nothing about that game was officiated the way that I feel like it was on the up and up. To me, my opinion. I bet you now that they see the FBI is involved, you're going to see a lot less of that shit.
Oh no, absolutely, man. And
You know what I
I mean,
mean?
I
Because they
think
don't
the
want that.
SEC,
They see it coming down now.
yeah, for sure. I think the SEC set a precedent when they suspended those refs as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They suspended the white hat, and so it's just one of those things. Like, all right, guys, we see you. It's just like we see you, and we're not afraid to take action when we know
That's
that you're
right.
not doing
We
the
don't
right
want
things.
scrutiny. We don't want the
All
scrutiny.
right,
That's
all
Chauncey
right.
Billups about that today. That's crazy. That whole situation's crazy.
That
But you know what? Don't think that this couldn't be happening in the NFL. This couldn't be. It would be easier to have this happen in college football than any of the other sports.
Oh no,
Just know that.
absolutely, man.
So hopefully that's not the
Especially,
case. But
oh man, especially with NIL as rampant as it is.
oh yeah,
There's so much money exchanging hands all over the place,
so how
man.
easy it is to bet.
Yeah, you don't know who got their hands in the pot, man.
You just
So,
don't.
we got to do our best to keep some type of integrity in the game, man. We
Yeah.
absolutely do. We don't want one of those instances like we had with the Astros years ago, who got caught cheating, and everybody was just like, what's done is done, guys. They're
Yeah,
champs
right.
now. Not much we can
Yeah.
do about it, but
And nobody liked that situation.
nah, man. I hate the Astros for that. And I don't
Yeah,
even
me.
follow baseball.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Well, guys, we're brought to you by Pearl River. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Use that promo code Bama Tailgate, 20% off. And we got some really cool prints right now. You got Ryan Williams down there making that catch against Georgia, and then Caden Proctor doing it against Georgia this
Uh-oh.
year. Shank.
There we go. Hey man, that Caden Proctor print is the one. That is the one. And you know what I'm saying? Because in some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, it's a fine art. I mean, New Life Art is accepting pre-orders for a Daniel A. Moore print. Crimson Classic, the crispy screen, man. I absolutely love that name, by the way. Putting on for the Fat Boys. But this masterwork commemorates the screen pass to Proctor that outsmarted Kirby Smart in that Georgia defense, man. Proctor's catch and that Bulldog goes and runs, set up Ty Simpson's 3-yard touchdown just before the half, which was big time for us. If you're interested in that print, visit danielmoreart.com to see the artist's preliminary sketch and take advantage of a special pre-publication pricing for the crispy screen. It's going to be beautiful, guys. Make sure you log in and get with that because I'm absolutely looking forward to my print right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a great print. All right, Shank.
Absolutely.
Final thoughts.
Oh man, final
Game balls.
thoughts.
Give out your game balls. Give out your game balls because we didn't do our Sunday show. Give out your game balls.
Oh boy, game balls. Let's go. I like my boy Jefferson again, number 10. He had a big hit on South Carolina that got me pumped up. But at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna go with Tim Keenan, man. Just because he showed up in the middle of that defensive line and he made some really big plays when we needed to be made. Recovered that fumble to seal the game at the end and give us a big win in a game that we were struggling in offensively, and defense showed up. So I think Tim Keenan is going to be my game ball for defense, man.
Mine's going to Deshaun Jones. Anytime you get the pick six, woo, that's one. That's where you keep the ball and they paint it for you and you put it on the shelf. You don't get many of those. And then when it comes into a game like that, that was a big one. It wasn't a blowout. That was an important touchdown. So big play for him. All right, let's go.
Absolutely. Offense, we're going to go with Jeremy Bernard, man. Big touchdown to win the game. You know what I'm saying? You can't overlook it. He shows up week in and week out, man. He had a big game to push us ahead of South Carolina and come out with a tough fought victory. And so I'm going with Jeremy Bernard on offense.
I'm going, and I would have picked Bernard, but I'm going Daniel Hill, the freight train. You know what? This guy, I mean, who knew that you could be that big and catch?
Right.
Like he's got some hands, and they have to find a way to get him into the games more.
Absolutely.
It feels like Kevin Riley's kind of fading a little bit. Daniel Hill's kind of starting to take over, and I don't think Jam's been the same since the concussion. I hope that with the week off, that he's back to what we saw, before he got hurt against Missouri. It's a physical game, and Daniel Hill is a physical guy, and I really like what he does out there. So. There's our game balls. Shank, great to see you. We'll do it again later this week. I know everybody knows that you've been sick. You played hurt today, but we couldn't even tell. You did a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, roll tide.
Roll Tide. Show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Timeout Sports Lounge at Golden Moon Casino is a Vegas-style sports book, and it is right there in our backyard, an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. You got 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar. You got 3 different ways to put your bets down. You got the window, you got the individual kiosk, and then you got the main kiosk, right? It's you don't have to buy a table when you walk in there. They got everything you need over at Pearl River Resort. It's a lot of fun, and it's not very far. And I'm going to throw their spokesman on, a guy that we all know is Jay Coker. Roll Tide, everybody.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll!
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll!
We're presented by Bod Coach, and you can tell I'm slimming up over here, and it's because of Bod Coach. This is absolutely amazing. It's your personal trainer that is with you 24/7. So when I go to hotels or when I'm on the road, I type in, "Hey, look, I got equipment. This is what I have," and it'll make a workout specifically for me, what I want, what exercises I want. When I'm at home or I'm at a hotel and there's no way I can get to the gym, it'll say, "Hey, this is what I want to work on today," and it sends you personalized workout plans. It's really awesome. And they contacted me a few weeks ago to be a spokesman. I said, "Well, I want to try this." Bod Coach is fantastic. Like, I use it all the time. I mean, and if I'm telling you, man, like, it makes working out when you are on the go like me so much better. Just because I don't always know I didn't play football at Alabama. I didn't have Scott Cochran yelling, yeah, and telling me what workouts to do. So anyway, I'm going to put in the body on the YouTube
All About Bod Coach. Get you guys signed up there, but tell them you heard.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.